Story: The Curious Case of the Missing Cat. In the small town of Maplewood, there lived a young girl named Emma. Emma was known for her love of animals, especially her mischievous black cat, Midnight. Midnight had a habit of disappearing for hours, but he always returned by dinner time. One summer day, however, Midnight didn't come home. Emma searched the entire house, calling out his name, but there was no sign of him. Worried, she decided to ask her neighbors if they had seen her beloved cat. Mrs. Thompson next door was the first person Emma visited. Mrs. Thompson, a kind elderly lady with a garden full of blooming flowers, shook her head sympathetically. "I'm sorry, dear. I haven't seen Midnight today. But why don't you check with Mr. Brown? He often walks around the neighborhood." Emma thanked Mrs. Thompson and hurried over to Mr. Brown's house. Mr. Brown was a retired detective who had a sharp eye for detail. "Hello, Mr. Brown. Have you seen Midnight?" Emma asked hopefully. Mr. Brown rubbed his chin thoughtfully. "I did see a black cat near the old oak tree in the park this morning. It might have been Midnight. Why don't we go check together?" Emma and Mr. Brown walked to the park, and sure enough, they found paw prints leading towards the old oak tree. As they followed the trail, they heard a faint meowing sound. It grew louder as they approached the tree. Emma looked up and gasped. There, stuck on a high branch, was Midnight. "Oh no! How will we get him down?" Emma exclaimed. Mr. Brown smiled reassuringly. "Don't worry, Emma. I have a ladder at home. Wait here and I'll be right back." In a few minutes, Mr. Brown returned with the ladder. Carefully, he climbed up and reached out for Midnight. The cat, recognizing Mr. Brown, allowed himself to be rescued without much fuss. Once safely on the ground, Midnight ran straight into Emma's arms, purring loudly. "Thank you so much, Mr. Brown," Emma said, her eyes shining with gratitude. "It was my pleasure, Emma." "I'm just glad Midnight is safe," Mr. Brown replied with a smile. From that day on, Emma made sure to keep a closer eye on Midnight, and Mr. Brown became her new hero. The curious case of the missing cat brought the community closer together, and Emma learned the importance of looking out for those you love.